So let's talk about it, child. DaBaby is, he is trending still. A week later, he is still trending because during Rolling Loud on his set, he made a comment that people felt was homophobic. He basically said to the ladies, if you got a clean panani, put your lights up. For the men, if you're not out there in the parking lot sucking dick, put your lights up. And he made, some disturbing remarks about AIDS and HIV and alluding that you can die in 2 weeks. And, a lot of people are in uproar, which they should be. Minnie, what are your thoughts on those comments?
Let Liz go first. The baby's her man. Let Liz go first.
Oh, so now he's my man now? I can't. No, like I think what he said was stupid. Nobody asked. It wasn't needed. But yeah, just basically anybody asks you. But I would kind of say, like, in our culture, I know when I've been to a couple of clubs, the DJ may say comments like that.
I was going to say the same thing in Jamaican culture.
Yeah, like in our culture, DJs and people like that, they do that. But I don't think nobody ever took it to the extent on which he did. Like, and then and honestly, just being real, when it first came out, I guess I didn't understand as big of a magnitude as it was until I really started seeing people's reaction, like definitely like the HIV community, because there's so many different ways where somebody can contract HIV. Don't matter, and it doesn't matter how they get it. It's something you don't joke about, and it's really serious. So I definitely started understanding the magnitude of what he said, but it was basically nobody asked you, and he went way left field on it. But it's sad.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. The things that he said was just like, why did you say that? Like, what possessed you to say that at the moment? And I guess celebrities, they get caught up when they're doing their concerts or whatever. They feeling the energy, they feeling the vibes. So you just say things, but it's just like, I feel like that is nowadays with how the culture is. You just know certain things are off limits, certain things you should not say. But going back to what Elizabeth said, like I'm Jamaican, and that's the culture that you're like, girl, if you're pum goods, walk out to step out and stuff like that. And it's just like, I never saw an issue with it, but seeing so many people reaction, I was just like, well, dang, like that. And especially like you said, HIV/AIDS people or whatever, because I know someone who had HIV, and everything that she went through, and rest in peace, sadly she passed away from it. I feel like that, like, you just don't speak on that. You never experienced it or whatever, and you probably don't know someone who experienced it, so you don't know what that person is going through. It's just upsetting that he said something like that, and even after the fact, right, after he said it, and some people tried to educate him and why it was wrong to say it, he still didn't get it.
Exactly.
I think that was my issue. Like, okay, we all mess up, we all say things and just don't understand or whatever. But even after you said it, I know some people was coming for his neck, like, try to bring him down and like bury him or whatever. But there was some people who was actually trying to educate him, and he still, when he apologized, he still didn't get it or whatever. And I wish the people like who was trying to like bury him, I wish it was more people who was trying to educate him versus burying him or whatever. Like, versus saying like, you're using the same hate that he was giving out. How do you expect the issue to be fixed? But I wish that when he was being educated by the people who was doing it in a positive manner, I wish he would have took heed to it and give a different apology instead of being so ignorant about the issue.
Yeah. And back to what Minnie said, I think as performers, they do get caught up. You go on, at the energy, and you may say something that unfortunately you can't take back, but then that's when you apologize. And he had ample time to apologize. He went on Twitter, he went on Instagram Live, and his apology just never said, I fucked up, I'm sorry, I would do better. And that's it. That's it.
I think in his
we
mind,
we all make mistakes, but I feel like his ego got in the way, and he like, no, it is what it is. I said what I said, but da 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 da. It shouldn't never be a but when you're apologizing and you're offending someone. And if that wasn't your intention, you make that clear, and that's it.
Yeah.
Move on from it.
and he said it or whatever. He said like, oh, that wasn't my intentions to offend anyone. He apologized to the HIV/AIDS people or whatever. But I think his main thing was like, oh, well, if I say something, I'm gonna stand on it. I think that's what he was trying to prove to people. Like, I'm a stand up
But you
guy.
just said in that same breath that wasn't your intention.
Right, but it's just like, you can still be a stand-up guy and make a mistake and try to do better from that mistake. That doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't make it seem like, oh, okay, you stand for this or you stand for that, whatever. You made a mistake, and everyone does it or whatever, and people try to educate you on that mistake. So you can still be a stand-up guy and apologize for hurting a community feelings.
And definitely when there's probably so many people from the LGBT community that goes to those concerts. I don't think it's surprising to see people of different walks of life all there. So for him to sit there and just disrespect people that just spent their hard-earned money to come and see him perform wasn't needed either.
So I'm not with the cancel culture, and I hope he learns from this and his career continues to thrive. But I feel like with a voice of that magnitude, it comes responsibility, and you have to hold that responsibility. Even when we were starting this podcast, our audience is not the biggest, but the thing that I loved about is that we all try to be mindful of the people that may come across our platform and to be sensitive to them.